yourselves a round of applause. I would like to give yourselves thank you. This is the Borderlands 2 panel that I like to call Explosions! And I am Chris Rager. I play the voice of Mr. Torgue. And yes, thank you. Yeah, go for it. I screamed my ass off for you people, thank you. And also I was all the big giant Goliaths who probably like to kill and they'd freak out and get upset. You know, I'm gonna kill you, and then you shoot them, and like, you better goddamn run! And let's see, to my right over here is...
Hi, I'm Joel McDonald. I play Captain Flint. You guys have all killed me. And Tector Hodunk and a little robot and some other stuff.
Yeah. And to my left is Mr.
I'm David Eddings. I work at Gearbox. I do a couple of voices in Borderlands. Most popular one being TK Baja.
Oh yeah. I remember that mission. That was great.
You should see the look on your face. And then the character that nobody really knows about much, but I did Claptrap just kind of as an afterthought. Hello, travelers! Right, there you go. So, yeah.
Nice.
Anyway, I didn't know what was going to happen today. I was told to show up, and I brought some soaps. It was
soaps?
Yeah, it was a totally different thing. So anyway, happy to be here though.
Right on.
See you, man.
This wasn't the bathhouse panel. It was the...
I totally misunderstood.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Sounds a lot. Borderlands. Anyway, that happens. Well, guys, thank you all for coming. We are here to discuss all things Borderlands. Making the game, you know, David has a unique perspective on the whole...
I actually make games.
Yeah. He kind of does that, working at Gearbox, and us all three being voice actors on the game, and just me being a huge fan of the game. I'm not sure, did you play the game?
Man.
I'm sorry, did I fuck you up there? I'm sorry.
You called it out.
I'm gonna order it like right now.
Right. Look, man, Joel is a busy man.
No, but here's the thing.
And
I was a gamer for like my formative years.
Right.
Then I took like 5 years off, and when I came back, like I couldn't do anything. Like
you were like, they had surpassed you.
First-person shooter games, like I just crawled like forever, and I'm like I can't. Okay, there's so many buttons now.
Right.
Yeah.
So do you think you just lost that whole hand-eye coordination thing that took place?
Yeah, my record for Titanfall.
Right.
I played Titanfall for like 2 months. I survived. My longest run was about 36 seconds.
Wow. I Generation 10'd on that game. I don't know about you guys, but I did everything that you could possibly do in that game.
Man, okay.
Oh, wow.
So I'm way more awesome than you. That's awesome. As soon as I get home, I'm buying Titanfall 2. I love Titanfall. Are we going to play together now?
I have Titanfall 2. It's fantastic. It's made by a bunch of friends of mine over at Respawn. Those guys are fantastic game developers. And,
right on.
I got Titanfall 2 right off the bat. And
this is now the Titanfall 2 panel.
Yeah. Oh, I'm having a blast with it. It's fantastic. You know, I'm a gamer. That's why I do what I do, right? And man, I'm having fun. There's a wonderful single-player experience, and there was recently a review of it that was talking about how it was like the best movie that Hollywood's never made.
Really?
Yeah, it's a great experience.
Well, maybe they will now.
Oh, you are. You know, I'm not trying to give anything away, but of course they're going to try to get something like that. But anyway, but yeah, if anybody wants to play Titanfall 2, I can give you guys my gamer tags and stuff like that later on.
Let's do this. Yeah, we'll exchange gamer tags.
I play on PC, by the way, because you know.
Oh.
You know, I have all the consoles, but
you're a snob. I didn't realize. I play it on my PC.
I like to be able to have control and not have to, you know, move real slow.
Oh yeah, because the other ones are so slow.
They have to dumb it down for you.
What the hell? Dumb it down, shit. I Generation 10'd on that game, dude. I had to shoot pilots ejecting out of a Titan 5 times. You know how hard that is? You know how hard that is?
Yeah, I know. I never got that achievement.
Yeah, well, because you suck.
No, I just got other things to do. You got a lot of spare time as a voice actor.
I really do. I really do. That's true. That's true. You got me there. So yeah, no, I played. How many hours of Borderlands would you say you have played?
Good grief. Well, just on Steam alone, once the game came out, I logged hundreds of hours in the first one, and in the second one, hundreds of hours in that too. But during development, on the first one, I had played hundreds of hours.
Right.
Also, but
And Borderlands 2,
my
who do
problem-
you play as in Borderlands 2?
Usually Roland in the
In Borderlands.
in Borderlands, I like Roland, and then Action in Borderlands 2. And I was completely against Claptrap ever being a playable character. We're in our executive meetings, they're like, Claptrap should be a playable character. I'm like, everybody's going to think that was my idea. No way. I think we're getting too much exposure with that character.
I would like to say it
So I
was
don't play
upsetting
Yeah.
to play as Claptrap.
I bet it was. The player that I play in the pre-sequel is Wilhelm, who was voiced by my friend, our friend, and the guy that I went to high school with, Brian Massey. I've known Brian since he was 15 years old.
Okay.
Yeah, and I went to high school with Kyle Abear in Right or Wrong as well. We all three went to went to high school together at North Mesquite High School.
Yeah.
And my wife also was
North Mesquite.
yeah, North Mesquite. No, you're thinking Mesquite High School, North Mesquite. We were,
Oh, y'all was fancy country up there.
yeah, we were.
We had horses. Well, I played many hours of the game myself. I was more of a Salvador man myself.
Oh, yeah.
I did go back and play it as Zero for a little while. I enjoyed that. I don't know, man. Just something about the Gunzerker, John Swayze.
Again, it requires less skill. I think that's the point we were making. Along.
Yeah.
Is that you can just run in there. No, Salvador's a great character, right? But you're first of all, you got two guns, right?
Hey man, you gotta know how to set up your skill tree so that when you die, you Gunzerk immediately and just start killing shit, and then you respawn again immediately. It's just die, respawn, everyone's dead. And then you're still sitting there going, yeah, man.
I know, right?
One of John Swayze's lines he said that never made it into the game, that they wish they made it into a game, was when he would go Gunzerker and Salvador would say, it's like having 3 dicks! That got
I
cut.
know. I actually voted for that line to stay in too.
Well, I was like, how did that happen, man? I got to scream blowjobs at the top of my lungs. How did that not make it into the game? And, they're like, oh, that's DLC, man. The censors don't even look at that stuff, Sweet. Duly noted.
Very true.
So, we will kind of open it up to you guys to talk about whatever you want, you would like to talk about. You, sir, you have a question? Observation, funny limerick?
When's Borderlands 3 coming out?
Oh, well, the obvious one. Yeah? You got any perspective on that, David?
Yes, in the future.
Sweet. Sweet, good enough for me too. I like it. Yes, over here, you, sir.
How much influence did you personally have on the badass creator of Badassitude?
I'd like to think a little bit, because when I first got called in to do Torgue, I'll knock you. When I first got called in to do Torgue, I guess it was just going to be the vending machine, is what I was told. And apparently we had so much fun and laughed so much while recording the character. I guess a few weeks later I got called back in. They're like, look, man, we really like this character, and we gave him his own DLC, and it's called The Badass Creator of Badassitude. I'm like, badass. Hell yeah. So that was a good feeling. So I'd like to think maybe they like the character enough. They're like, we got to DLC this guy. And then I was in every DLC after that, and I was like, I think I'm in the family now. I think I'm kind of...
I remember the first time I met you
Yes.
was there at Okratron.
It was.
And I stayed just because I wanted to meet you, because I really liked how you had We're all just a bunch of bud buddies over it. No, but that's a real thing. I absolutely.
Oh, I appreciate that, man. I had a lot of fun recording that character, as much pain as it caused me. Yeah, what else?
I more meant, were there any suggestions or ideas you had for the badass creator that...
Oh, as far as the content in general? No, none whatsoever, man. That's not my job. My job is to yell. Maybe I had some influences adding my own this or that to some of the lines, but but you know, not the game itself. But I don't know, David. Maybe if you want to call me up. I'll come in there and be like, "You need to put explosives here."
You just I tell you what, you just keep waiting by that phone. Right?
All right.
That's what you should do.
I will do that. Yes, sir.
What was your favorite line that got cut from the game?
Man, all mine got in. They just kept adding more lines. There couldn't be enough Torgue lines, honestly. I don't know. I couldn't tell you what got cut out. Like I said, I was DLC, and so you know, apparently a lot more than everyone else. You know, but any of your lines get cut?
Well, you know, no, I don't know.
No, yeah, who knows? They don't tell us.
It was in the pre-sequel when they were asking me to do an Australian accent. I don't have an Australian accent that I can do that's convincing whatsoever. It's just terrible. And so I just, that's you hear it in the game if you ever get that far.
So you did.
I tried, and so there was about like 25 lines that I was supposed to do an Australian accent. So I was just going to do
25,
about 25 lines, maybe 30 or so, and so I was just going to be really, really bad at it. So I was like, "It's all lasers, isn't it?" Whatever, you know. And it's just not even close, not even trying, right? You know, that's not a knife, you know. Whatever. So
wow.
yeah. I know, right? So convincing. Wow. So I had to do those lines, and I thought, okay, they're not going to ask me. So they hated it so much, they wrote about 250 more to do in that really terrible accent. And so that was, they just loved it in Australia. The guys are, you know, just like, we want more of it. So, so I had actual lines added because I was
you were terrible.
I'm not getting it cut. Yeah.
Man, that's every voice actor's dream, right? We're gonna add more. You suck so bad. We're just gonna keep this more suck, please. Yes.
You mentioned that there were Mr. Torgue vending machines in the Badass Creator of Badass. Weren't there other manufacturer vending machines that were supposed to be in the main game but got cut? And if so, why?
That I would again. That's someone else's decision, large above my pay grade, who makes those kinds of decisions. I mean, you know, you had the vending machines that were obviously there. I think possibly, there was maybe some intent to have, you know, Jacobs and Maliwan and, you know, all the Hyperion and, you know, just so. But at the end of the day, you could just stick all those in one gun machine, right? You know, and that would ultimately happen. So I'm sure that took precedence over having to build 5, 6, 7 different machines and just one, you know. Someone made an executive decision there. I figured it out. Yes, you heard over here. Yes, you.
When Mr. Torgue was being created,
Hell yeah, dude.
was the voice for Torgue the first thing to come, or was it the look? Because I'm trying to figure out who made him look like Macho Man.
Well, here's the deal. When I auditioned for the character, they have audition sides, and on an audition side, you'll see a picture of the character, a description, and then lines that they want you to say in the audition for the character. Now, typically they have a picture of that character that they've designed. Sometimes in video games they haven't quite designed that just yet, and so you don't see that. So what they had there was a picture of Randy Macho Man Savage. I'm not shitting you. I had a friend there named Chad Klein who did a couple of bit parts in the game as well. And I turned to him and I was like, hey Chad, he's like, what? I go, I'm gonna be this guy.
So Randy wasn't available.
Right.
And, so we had to...
He was dead at the time.
Well, that's
That had happened just fairly recently.
Well, you know, so anyway, so...
Well, too soon, man, too soon. Randy.
Aren't you happy though that that happened?
Yeah, right, yeah. Were you really going to bring in Randy Macho Man Savage? That's messed up.
He was dead. There's no way.
Oh yeah, Elizabeth. Yes, you sir.
Hi. What would you think about them actually making, if they actually made Torgue a playable character in a new game?
Well, in some ways, I think to myself, gosh, you got to be careful what you ask for, because then that might, in some ways, increase the line load. And I think to myself, I like doing Torgue, but how much can I sustain it for? So, you know, I one time joked that, you know, we should make a game just based around Torgue. And Anthony Birch, at the time was the writer on the game, looked at me and goes, do you really want to do that? And I was like, no, you're right. So, yes, I would like to, do as much Torgue as I possibly can, but at the same time, I have to think about
How long were your sessions? Did you cap it at 2 hours?
Well, they would maybe book me for 2 hours or 3, based on line count. I would do everything I possibly could to get most of the takes in one take. Yeah. And I will tell you, the majority of the takes you hear of me in that game were the first time and only time I ever said those lines.
Well, also you're working with Anthony, who is a huge fan of the first take, and that sometimes doesn't want you to do it again unless you really screw it.
Well, every once in a while I'd hear back in my headphones, you hear kind of the click like, Chris, yeah, man, we're really sorry. Can you do it? We had a technical problem, man. Again, we're sorry. Could you do it one more time? And then after a while, they stopped apologizing for it. They're like, just do the line. Yeah, start screaming, monkey boy. Yes, you, sir.
Yeah, I was wondering, going off of that, how do you do that voice? I know you do it for other characters too, like Hercule and stuff. How do you do that without blowing out your larynx?
I don't know. Part of it is genetics. It's just how I'm built in many ways, and you just kind of have to go for it. You just have to be willing to throw it all out there.
So what'll happen when you eventually tear your vocal cords from just constant Torgue?
Well, man, you're real downer, aren't you?
The plan is not to have to do Torgue constantly, but that game, as Borderlands is coming, it's only every few years or so.
And thanks for your service. And
thank you.
Appreciate your sacrifice.
Right. Thank you. So, like I said, some of it is genetic. Some of it isn't as much of a strain on me as it would, say, be others, but there is a strain that takes place. Okay. Don't do what I do, please. Do not do this at home.
The Gearbox guys have always been very respectful of the actors' voices and try to conserve when possible. I worked on another game. It was a non-Gearbox property. And I told the director, after half an hour of just intense screaming in the booth, I told him, I was like, hey man, I don't want to screw up the rest of the session, but I gotta let you know, I heard something pop and I taste blood. And he was like, awesome, let's do some more. Dude, he pushed me hard. I literally couldn't talk for 3 days after it was over. And it was one of the worst games I've ever seen. Yeah, that was
my goodness.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Again, you, sir.
So, what's your favorite, maybe top 3 Torgue lines, and could you say them?
I will tell you what they are, and no, I cannot say them right now. I really stressed my voice out last weekend. I will do one line for you, but not all 3, that's for sure. I will tell you this one. My favorite one was not a line at all, and I've told this story many times, but you go up to the vending machine, you buy a Torgue gun, and you'd say a little Torgueism back to you, right? One of them, I thought he was saying, now go punch a fat guy in the dick. I was at a con one time, Anthony Birch was sitting in the front row at a panel I was doing. He's like, dude, that's not what you say. And he's like, what do I say? He's like, it's just bad guy. It's just you go punch a bad guy in the dick. I'm like, fat guy's way funnier. Yeah, so I will say that line for you. There we go. Now go punch a fat guy in the dick! All right. Yes, indeed. What else we got there, guys? I'll end this panel right now. Yes, you, sir.
What are your guys' favorite characters to do, if it's in a Borderlands game or outside? Do you have a favorite voice that you love to do?
Just out in the general public? Just going around doing voices for people. Joel?
My favorite in Borderlands 2 was Tector Hodunk on one of the side missions, because Ian Sinclair played my dad, and he would just like country gibberish, and
I remember this.
and then I would translate.
Yes, I remember.
And, like, I loved it because like they would usually leave Ian in my headphones, so I'd hear him in the pre-roll, and it'd just been, you know, like at one of his, and they would keep feeding him lines that he should like almost say but not really, and so like he'd be just babbling gibberish and just make me come, and then like they turn on his microphone or on his headphones and go, one time I ate a pillow. We go, one time I ate a pillow. And like he would work that into his gibberish, and then like I would translate and go, Paul says you died, or whatever. Because like, and also like I'm from East Texas, and so like, you know, playing one of the Hodunks is like doing an impression of like every uncle I have. It's really sad and funny at the same time. But yeah, that was my favorite. I love that.
Do you have some other random characters that you played other than TJ? What was it? TK Baja.
TK Baja, yeah.
Do you have any others?
No. It's been TK and it's been Claptrap. That's
Claptrap.
it. But TK's always been my favorite to do. Claptrap to me is he's a great. He's fun to do, whatever. But I get more nuance with TK. And I'm also from East Texas, and all all my uncles as well. And so what's funny about that, because I want to kind of comment, since we have that in common, is in Texas, the southern drawl is actually different in different parts of the state. It's actually a rather large state. So it used to be some people could tell if you were from Houston, or if you were from like the Midlothian area, or you're from Athens, Texas, or Maybank, Kent, whatever, Gun Barrel City type stuff, South 7 Points, or even like North Texas or wherever, right? But specifically in East Texas, my mom would like, she'll turn every one syllable word into 2 syllables, and she's like, would you like some more? And so it really slows down how you talk, like that, right? Or bacon and eggs, kind of thing. And so those are always fun to do. And it's fun just to let it come out, because you're not really acting at all. You're just kind of aping your family, right?
But once I do that voice for a while, it's hard to get out of it. Because like that's what I sounded like till I was like 10. Right? I had to really work to not sound like that. And now even there's a handyman who comes to work at my house every once in a while, and he's from Gun Barrel City. And like every time I talk to him, like I'm just like, hey man, I was going to invite you to supper the other night, but you live clear across town.
Yeah. we do a potluck over here, so
Supper. That was always a good one.
Supper.
Come on, get supper now.
Dinner's a formal thing.
Right.
Right.
Free supper.
That's right. Oh my. All right. What else we got? Yes, you.
What inspired you to be a voice actor?
Nothing really. I never thought, hey, I'm going to be a voice actor. What inspired me to be an actor was probably a lot of the comedians and comedy and Saturday Night Live and those kinds of things, to kind of make characters and make people laugh and do improv and things like that. That's kind of the world I grew up in. So that was kind of the world I thought I was going to end up in, is like on Saturday Night Live and doing sitcoms. And I mean, that was kind of where my head was at, but this came along and that worked out too. So
you were part of that Section 8 comedy troupe, weren't you?
Yes, I was.
And were you too?
No.
Okay.
No, yeah, I had a comedy troupe in Dallas for many years called Section 8 Comedy. Me and my friends, Mike McFarland, who played Master Roshi, my friend Josh Martin, who was Majin Buu, and we had like half the cast of Dragon Ball Z in this comedy troupe,
I'm gonna blow your mind. So Tori Pocock went to high school with me.
Yeah, no shit.
As well. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And Right or Wrong and
Tori Pocock, man, hell yeah.
Yeah. He's also.
He used to be the general manager at the Ozona Bar and Grill where we performed every Tuesday night. Here's the crazy thing about us. We started back in like 1999. That's when we became Section 8 Comedy. We were other comedy troupes before that. We were called Dead Comics Society, and then we were called Actors Without a Stage. We were really actory and theatery back then. But Dead Comics Society, Section 8 Comedy, and then
So I've actually seen you.
We blew up.
Because I saw you. I must have seen you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I've been to a number of.
I was the funniest one, if you don't remember.
Yeah, that's That's why I kept going back. Right?
That's right. All right. What else we got out there? You, sir.
Besides the characters that you voice, who are your favorite characters in the games? And this is for all of you.
You have a favorite character? You haven't played Borderlands. You don't know nothing.
No, but I like the people in it. Like,
Yeah? Who's your favorite actor you know who's in that game?
Me and Ian have been best friends
Yeah.
for like 10 years.
Right.
You know,
Sure.
anybody but him.
Where's he? How come he's not on the panel?
I don't know. I think he's got a signing.
We also had the Sir Hammerlock guys here as well.
That's right, Tatum, man.
Yeah.
What the hell happened
Oh,
there?
I love that dude too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's fine.
Tatum is great. Tatum is really great in that game. You should totally play the game.
I'm gonna hold on. My phone's charging.
My favorite character in the game was Tiny Tina. Played by the very talented Ashley Birch, and I just think the world of her. I think she is
She's
totally
amazing.
awesome.
She's amazing. That was going to be my answer as well.
Yeah.
Tiny Tina's freaking fantastic. Ashley's fantastic. You know, it's amazing when you look at that family, right?
Right.
And I know their parents as well, and I've met them. I would say, know them, but you have those two parents, and they have two kids, and Ashley is so sweet and amazing, and she's generous in her performance. She's very, very talented, and just a great person to be around. And Anthony is talented. And so it's, it's just amazing how they can produce kids like that, yeah.
I mean, I know that Anthony and you were like, really tight and stuff.
Oh, so tight.
Right?
Where do I buy this game that makes you the most money?
Oh, here, just give me some money and I'll give you Yeah.
I think you get the Handsome Jack collection.
I'll go split it up with the other 500 people back at the...
That's right. No doubt. Yeah, you got a phone call there? Let's talk to them.
I will say this about it because I was a joke.
Yes.
Anthony was, I think, was really able to nail the cadence of the characters that he wrote for, which I thought was really fantastic. One of the things that he was able to do would be adapt the actor's speaking style for that character into his actual writing. He would change the writing, and it would have that pace, that.
It was really remarkable.
And so the stuff that he did, which was great, earlier I talked about him always being the one take guy, right? Because I wanted to do like 3 different takes of something. He's like, nope, first take, it's good, let's go, let's move. But I could do like those paragraphs that he would write, I could do those in just one take because all the context was there and it just flowed. And it flowed like the character would say it, right?
It was easy to fall into.
That's right.
It really
That's right.
was.
Yeah.
And a lot of people asked me, did you improvise some of those lines? It was like,
You didn't have to.
no, you did. It just felt like that because of the way he wrote the thing, and you bought in, and it was easy to buy into the comedy. You knew the direction it was going, you knew where it was going, and you just like, yeah, let's do that.
It was like he understood the tics of each character too, and all the, anyway, you were about to say something.
Well, yeah, no, I was just gonna say the same deal. Like when I was working on the robot, I don't remember the name of the robot, but it's a side mission of the DLC, and it's this robot's girlfriend Stella has been kidnapped or something like that. And he's got to go find her wig. I don't remember all the details, but I only had a few dozen cues, but like I decided, and they said we want something robotic, but not really. I like still gotta have some humanity to it, and so I was playing around with it. And so every time I would say Stella, the name of the girlfriend, I would do it the exact same way. And so I'd be like, "Oh, I miss you, Stella," and it would always go up. And so I'd go, where is my Stella? And he picked up on that, and he was like, "Oh my God," and started writing Stella into almost all my cues. And then, but yeah, he just kind of picked up on things that I was playing with, and he started playing too, and just everything started. It was really fun.
Always fun. Great guy to collaborate with.
Yeah.
Always was.
The wheels were turning on him all the time, and like you could tell when something worked, there was a shift, and immediately we were in that direction. It was a lot of fun. On the end here, glasses.
Yes. With such a major game like this, do they just pay you like once for the job, or do you actually get ongoing like paychecks over time?
Well, I get residuals. How about you guys?
I bought beer with my money. That's all I got.
Yeah, it is an hourly type of thing. You go in for a session. That session lasts a certain amount of times. There's a certain amount of lines within that count, and then you get paid for those hours and based on the line count.
Now, see, if they would just come get a full-time job at Gearbox, the way that we pay our employees is we share the royalties with everybody. So That's what Gearbox does. That's not something that's required by law or anything like that. That's just what we do. That's our culture. So, you know, the moment we start hiring full-time voice actors, you know, you guys should be the first ones to come over and apply.
Okay.
We'd like to, you know, maybe
Oh, we're gonna get
I get you in, I get you through the door, you know.
I mean, I don't have to work on One Piece anymore?
Right?
I love that show, but God, it just keeps going.
Stop.
I see a hand in the very back here, yes.
Do you think if you wanted to, like if you were more willing, they would make Mr. Torgue a playable character? Since it seems like when he asked you, you were kind of, yeah.
I mean, look, I'm not necessarily going to press for it. In some ways, I feel like he turns out like a lot like Claptrap would, because Torgue would only use Torgue weapons. And so anything that's in your thing would be all Torgue. And let's admit, a couple of Torgue, the accuracy is kind of shit.
Not a lot of finesse.
Right, not a lot of finesse. It's a lot of close-up play, and you know, that's the kind of style you have to do with those weapons, which is fine. Like, I really like Torgue pistols and stuff. I use those a lot. But, so yeah, in some way it would I don't know how you build it. Depend on how you would make the skill tree, too, as well. But, yeah, look, man, look, I'll yell for money, okay? I got no issue with that. You know, so as much as they want me, I'll do my best. Yes?
I know at one of the conventions you were there with the voice actor for Tiny Tina, and you did a panel called Tea Time Tina and Torgue.
I did.
Do you ever want to do that again?
Well, I tell you, I was more kind of in the Hercule voice most of the time than the Torgue voice.
Who was that?
It was at NecoCon in Virginia, Hampton, Virginia. And it was a really cool panel because they actually had myself, Jeremy Lee was there, John Swayze as Salvador, so we had Gage, Salvador, myself, and Tiny Tina. And it was called Tea Time with Torgue and Tina. And they actually went to a tea shop and explained to them what they were trying to do. And it turns out that tea shop were Borderlands fans. And so they created their own a special blend called Tiny Tina's tea, and it was whatever. So they made a special blend of tea just for the thing, and they actually came and catered the panel with their tea. So they served us tea, we had crumpets and stuff like that. And so, but the novelty of that panel was that we were in character the entire time. So Ashley was Tiny Tina the whole time, I was Torgue. At some point, we called in John Swayze, who was Salvador the whole time, and then we brought in Jeremy Lee, who was Gage the whole time. And this went on for like an hour and a half, us fielding questions as the characters. And then we also had Anthony Birch in the front row as, you know, I'm sure he was sort of having this surreal moment watching these characters he had created sort of sit in front of him and do their own thing. But we also were using him as a reference just in case there was like, tell us, wise sage.
Wow, so you had a writer on hand as to
Right.
your lines.
Right.
No wonder everybody liked it. Right?
I liked, was it last year? There was a Handsome Jack cosplayer here that we pulled up and like sat with us and answered. That was really fun. I like that.
It was 2 years ago.
2 years ago? Nice.
Oh yeah. No, that would have been totally sweet if Damian Clark was there. Oh, I missed that son of a bitch.
He's pretty.
He is pretty. He is. Here in the back here, yes, you sir.
Do you feel that a successful show or game affects your career, or just the character itself affects your career as voice actor?
Does a successful show or the successful character? I think that the two of them, I would say, somewhat go in hand. I think if it's a successful show, the reason it's successful is you guys like the characters. I know it is that way for me. I connect to characters in a show, a movie, a game, and I think that's what Borderlands, a lot of the success of Borderlands is about too. It's not only a fun game, but you connected to these characters. I mean, I know you've actually got some interesting stuff. You know some of the data that kind of comes in when people play the game.
Yeah,
Tell us about that.
It's interesting. We see everything that you do when you play the game. You know, we know you're in your underwear. Sitting on your sofa. Yeah. It's a strange thing. All that data just flows in. We do actually know where you are in the game and the choices that you make and all that stuff. You know, it's stuff that's collected because it's all just bits, right? But yeah, it's. But to answer your question, you know, if something's not successful, then people won't know about it. And if people don't know about it, it's going to be very difficult for it to affect your career. It can affect it negatively, I imagine. You know, nobody knows what you're doing or you're
Sure.
It's going to be very hard to build a career. But it does go hand in hand. You know, there's nothing. It's no one thing by itself that ever
Exactly.
makes it. It's everything that
It's,
comes
it's,
together.
yeah,
you know?
it is a combination of things, for sure.
It's really cool. Like, what's interesting to me is we have so many characters in our games, and it reminds me a little bit of like the Happy Days TV show, which I don't know if any of y'all have ever seen in reruns, but when that show first came out, it was all about you know, Richie Cunningham. It was Richie Cunningham's show. It was about, you know, it was like American Graffiti type of thing, right? And they introduced the Fonz, and Fonz was just a real bit character, just a small little, you know, doing bit part.
Didn't even have a leather jacket in the beginning.
It just became, you know, he became a phenomenon, right? You know, I had an album with the Fonz on it, everybody had the photos and kind of stuff. They didn't have any of those with Richie Cunningham, right? And what was great is that even he as the actor knew, he's like, man, this is the direction you need to go. You need to go where the heat is. And so I see that guy yawning. It's a really boring answer, isn't it? Anyway, hey, sit on it. But you know what? It's like with Borderlands as well. You know, you have a character that can come in and it becomes popular and it's great for everybody. And it's like, well, let's give the customers what they want. We're gamers too. We like to, you know, play our games, and we want to play the games that are going to be fun. And so, like, hey, that's a great character. Let's focus on that some more, you know. And that's how it happens. And we build that a game environment where that can happen. It's not just focused on any one particular thing. It's, you know, oftentimes, you know, you're the player, you're the star of the whole thing. So, anyway, I'll keep yawning again. Sorry about that. All right, I'll stop.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's Joel. I mean, it's a combination. It's both of those things.
Yeah.
So.
I don't have a career as of yet, but I would like for it to be effective.
Yeah. Nice. Pretty sure. Anyway. Over here, yes.
In Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon Keep,
Yes.
tries real hard to get into this game. Was that like written in, or was that something where you like heard about the DLC? in the game?
No, I think that's just the cleverness of Anthony again, sort of thinking that that's what Torgue would do. Like, hey, why are you guys leaving me out? I want to do nerdy stuff too. You know, what, you don't think I can be nerdy? And then, of course, we kind of find out that he really kind of can't. And then ultimately, he does have that sort of fangirl moment towards at the end, you know, where he freaks out about I can't remember, it was something, I felt like it was like a brony moment. So it was something about My Little Ponies or whatever My Little Ponies was in that world. I can't remember exactly, but
Butt Stallion.
yeah, no, Butt Stallion. Oh yeah. So yeah, no. It wasn't like me, like, what? I'm not in this DLC. You guys need to put me in this DLC. It was just called in, made that way. You know, put me in the stocks, and I was just happy to be there. Really, right here.
By the way, before you get started, the whole time I thought he had his hand up. The whole time. It's just always out of the corner of my eye. Like, that guy's got a question every time.
Right.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, do that. That's awesome.
So, what are your guys' favorite weapon dealers in the Borderlands game?
When you're playing the game, what weapons you like?
My personal favorites are whichever one has the best stats at the time. I tend to use a lot of Maliwan stuff, and really like the way that looked too. The particular artist that came up with that Maliwan style was really cool. Anyway, I like the Maliwan stuff quite a bit. The Torgue stuff is okay for a while, you know.
I agree. I totally agree. You know, Torgue shotguns especially.
Jacobs was always something that was always difficult for me. I just hated having to always reload constantly like that, and the slow fire. But you know, one shot you got him killed. I'm just not that skilled either anymore. Right? What were some of the more fun ones though?
There were some really good Jacobs pistols. I loved the Jacobs pistols, and I got a good one, man. I held on to that for a while.
I like the Tedior stuff because you could throw it and it would explode.
It would explode, yeah.
And the more bullets you
Sometimes that would work against you, though, if like you were in a tight situation, that thing would blow up on you.
Yeah, well, don't throw it.
Well, I couldn't help it. I was just shooting until I was trying to kill something.
Right, yeah.
So yeah, does that answer your question?
There was a baby maker that I like to use with the bee shield, and it was an amazing weapon. That one in particular, I forget who the manufacturer was in the baby maker. Was that to yours?
The baby
yeah,
maker?
Of course, yeah. Yeah. It was freaking fantastic. And
I remember there
throw
was
that with the bee shield, and you throw that with fully loaded, and you get a really, really big. And then I think it got nerfed later on.
I did like the Torgue gun that shot so explosive swords and then 3 more explosive swords. Yeah. And then there was that one gun that screamed.
Oh.
That was a fun one. And then there was one gun. It was I think it was SMG that when you held it, you moved very slowly. But it was a pretty good gun. But you couldn't move worth a shit. Anyway, I don't remember that. Whoa, way in the back. Mr. Satan. What? Everyone look. Hold on, a little louder, please.
Would they, if they do more Torgue stuff, would they include grandma as well?
Yeah, I don't know why not. I mean, a lot of people complained about the Grandma Torgue stuff, man, because you had to sit there and listen to her forever. I was like, that's the best part. You know, I proudly put down my controller and just was like, what the hell? She just does it. Oh, she's still going. She's still going.
I want to see her wrestle that whale squid.
Huh?
I want to see her wrestle that whale squid.
Yeah, I mean, it was beautiful.
Someone to death.
Do you know who Grandma Torgue was?
I can't remember.
No, I don't remember either. Yes.
How much did you guys improv at all, if at all, that got kept in the game? And can I get a stairs my only weakness?
Okay. Let's see. What was the exact line? How did it go? Is like you just want the stairs? No, or do you want like stairs? My only weakness. That's all.
He lengthened stairs and then said my only weakness.
Okay, I tell you what, I'm gonna have to look it up real quick. While I do that, I can tell you that in the first game, Claptrap was an afterthought, and so I would say that close to 50% of the lines there were ad lib. Not being fair to say I'm just gonna ad lib that line. We just basically had the recording the whole time. We were just playing around a lot, and so it was just goofing off with Mikey and Grayson Barner, who plays the Psycho Bandits, but he's one of our audio engineers. And the lines like check me out, I'm dancing, and the wub wubs and all that kind of stuff was all just ad lib stuff that I stole from Warner Brothers cartoons, Three Stooges. They say the great artists steal, right?
That is true.
So the line is the stairs weakness line, huh? Sorry, does anybody have it already?
What was the other part of that question?
Yeah, exactly.
How much did you guys improv that got stayed?
Oh, improv, yeah. Joel?
Well, I mean, no, I would do stuff. Anthony would go, "Oh, I'm gonna do other stuff," and we just kept doing stuff. But I wouldn't call it improv in really the strictest way. I think he was improving more than me.
Yes.
I would just say what he wrote.
Yeah, pretty much. I would say, not exactly word for word. I mean, I might throw in a this or that. I might throw in an F-bomb, where there wasn't one, just to punctuate something. But I would not like entire lines or anything like that. That's for sure.
My favorite line that he wrote on the fly, it wasn't in the original script, but as I was doing Captain Flint, there's a lot of stuff that's him making announcements over PA system to his crew, I guess, during the big battle. And so he was just writing random things for me to be like announcements that Captain Flint would make. And there was one, and I don't know if it made it into the game or not, but it was my favorite thing I've probably ever said in front of a microphone. Because you hear a little beep, and then you hear Captain Flint go, "At the sound of Jeremy's testicles being ripped from his body, the time will be 4:30." And then you just hear a scream in the background. And I just laughed and laughed. It was my favorite thing. I loved it. Yeah, I like that.
Cool, thanks. Time. You want to do the line now? All right. Let's see. Is this the one where he says, he's like, no! Like that one, is that how it starts? Yeah. Or is it like, no! Damn you, stairs! Damn it, Jack! How did you know the stairs were my only weakness? Next to electrocution and explosions and gunfire, rust, corrosion, being kicked a lot, viruses, being called bad names, falling from great heights, drowning, adult onset diabetes, being looked at funny, heart attacks, exposure to oxygen, being turned down by women, and pet allergens. Your brilliance is matched only by your malevolence.
Thank you so much.
Told you first take kind of guy, right?
That sentence has too many syllables. Apologize.
Thank you very much, by the way, for providing that. I was having a hard time with the internet. So.
Who has not asked a question right here?
It's not strictly about Borderlands, but I was wondering, do you prefer Mr. Torgue to playing Red Bane from Battleborn?
Do I prefer doing Mr. Torgue?
Which do you prefer?
Man, I'll tell you, I had a lot of fun doing Rendane in Battleborn. But preference-wise, yeah. Anyone else play Battleborn? See, you got some Battleborn people in here.
I think they're just
It was fun. It was fun just because it was a lot different than something I had done in the past. So I really enjoyed the
evil man.
I was a very evil man. I really enjoyed playing and recently I've gotten to do other evil character type voices. So I'm like, all right, maybe I got something here. Maybe I can do more evil guys because it's a lot of fun to be bad.
So I have a surprise for you. May I?
Yes, please.
I don't know if you know this or not, but there's a Rendane statue that's being made by Pop Culture Shock Toys.
Oh, like a resin statue?
Yeah, Jerry Macaluso is the sculptor for it, and I'll give you a little something that's kind of funny because Rendane is a very stoic character, right?
Indeed.
Very evil, mean, stoic, you know. And
if you say so.
And so the first pass at doing the sculpt, they had him like in this action pose, real dynamic, like a Bernie Hogarth type of pose, and it was the craziest, silliest thing. I was like, this is not the character at all. Like, well,
right.
You know, anyway, so we almost had like a Spider-Man version of Rendane with the legs up in the air.
Oh my gosh. No.
So odd.
Yeah.
But no, I was like, no, that's what I get to do. I can say no, and then we corrected it. And he's still once again. So.
I like that. I mean, because for Rendane, it was just about, it was these, do you hear that sound? That is the sound of the end. You know, more lines like that.
Yeah. Ooh, that's chilling.
Yeah.
That's chilling.
Yes.
But anyway, you were always complaining because I had all the action figures and you didn't have one, so I got you one. I got you.
Oh yes!
That's my day job.
Thank you. Thank you very much, David. Thank you. Yes, you sir.
So.
Oh, sorry. And right behind you, and then we'll come back to you. Yes, you sir.
What was the inspiration for Captain Flint's voice?
Okay, Flint was actually really interesting because, like Chris was saying, sometimes the character, you know, when you get the audition side, you'll see a picture of wherever that character is in development. And all of the other audition sides that I saw had either sketches or nearly finished versions already done. But the picture next to Captain Flint was just a black and white photo of Charles Manson.
Again, he wasn't available.
Give it time. But so like my audition for Flint was just this kind of crazy, seething kind of thing. And I don't typically play the lower voiced characters. I'm not a deep boy. I'm a nosebleed kid. Like that's the character I kind of play, which is fine. But like, so I just kind of did this kind of creepy whatever, laughing in weird places, kind of jokery kind of deal. And then they called me in to start recording it, and they showed me the character design that they had been working on since. And the character design at that time, Flint was a 400-pound purple-skinned guy that floated around on a hoverboard. And I was like, I don't think the same voice is gonna work for this. And they're like, no, we want you to just kind of play around with him being like exceedingly fat and like just evil and deep. And I'm like, okay. And I played around a lot with it, and we we were all having kind of fun with it, but at the same time, like, I was doing this kind of heavy, very labored breathing kind of thing, and it was just slowing the action down a little too much. Like, we just really couldn't get the pace that we wanted to, and so basically they told me, like, go home. We're gonna rethink this a little bit. And so when I came back in, the character design was what it is now, and so I ended up kind of really having to get outside of my comfort zone because that's not the kind of character I usually play, and so I did for that guy what I usually, for Flint, what I usually do with a lot of other characters. The only way I get cast is when I figure out who is going to get cast instead of me, and I audition as them.
Genius!
I know, great, the best ones steal. And so, like, I just kind of like, I'd love to play that guy, but that's the Tatum character. Ooh, I'll just do it as Tatum. Like, I have half a dozen characters that are just my Tatum impression, which is
and you also disparage the other actor right before they come in, like,
Yeah, right.
Nobody likes that guy.
Yeah.
Hello, your money.
Yeah, I don't know exactly, like, I think my Flint probably has a lot of Rager in it. I would imagine, but yeah, I don't know. It just kind of like, it was a process, and that's just kind of where we landed, and it was weird but fun.
Badass.
Yeah.
What else? You.
So, no weapons, just fists. Who wins fight between Hercule and Mr. Torgue?
Just fists.
Just fists.
Hercule is the martial arts champion of the world, though. So as far as like human on human contact, no one has defeated Hercule, Mr. Satan. And I, at the end of the day, Torgue, if it doesn't blow up, he doesn't have time for it. So I'm not even sure Torgue would show up. He's like, no guns, I'm out. If I can't bring grenades, but again though, Hercule has in the video games, he had some explosive talents too by handing you video games with explosives in them. So maybe they're the same person. I have a feeling. They're voiced by the same guy, it turns out.
I don't hear it.
Yeah. No, that day when I said, I'm going to be that guy, my friend Chad's like, why? I go, because I've been playing that character for 17 years. Who else got some questions in the back?
Nope, he's got to say we got 10 minutes.
Thank you, sir. Or he was just like, yeah, Jesus. You, sir, yes.
Do you like hearing your own voice when you play the games?
Yes.
I don't. And what I do when I'm playing like the games, I just turn the volume down when Claptrap's on, and then I just do the lines live.
I don't do a lot of gaming, but when I do, like, I know enough voice actors to make it weird. Like, me and Ian Sinclair, we sat down and we played Arkham Asylum for hours at a time, and like, I kept having to stop because I was like, that's Patrick Seitz. I don't want to hurt Patrick Seitz. It's just weird to like suddenly hear somebody like, I don't even know they were involved, and like, oh, I gotta shoot him. I don't want to shoot him. It's weird. I don't know.
Yeah, in Borderlands, Chris Kaysen plays Mr. McShootyface. The guy literally just sits there and begs for like 2 minutes and begs you to shoot him in the face. And you're just sitting there and oh, it's Kaysen.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm just going to let him until he runs out, but then he just keeps going. You have to shoot him in the face.
That's awesome.
Yes. Yes, you.
Did you try to make Claptrap as annoying as possible?
All right. So the idea of Claptrap, like I said before, Claptrap was an afterthought. The purpose of Claptrap was to remind you that you had missions to complete, so that you wouldn't outlevel them and you would still get XP. What was happening is people were forgetting that they had signed up for missions. They would have to go back to them later on. They felt ripped off that they didn't get any XP for it, and they had to just go through the motions, right? So you don't want that. You want people to actually do, they choose missions, they choose that storyline, and finish it out. So that's what Claptrap was supposed to be. So initially, his whole purpose was to be a nag, right? And so you have to nag somebody, and I know what that's like. I'm married, And so, but at the same time, you can't have a character that's just irritating, and so they have to be endearing as well. And because I was given Claptrap and TK Baja and just told just make them whatever it is that you want to make them. There was no audition, whatever. You know, I gave it some thought, and so, you know, Claptrap to me is like a kid brother that's 4 years younger than you. And your mom says, you can go hang out with your friends, but you have to bring your kid brother along. And so now, you have this responsibility, and you don't really want it, you just want to hang out. And you want to appear cool to your friends, you'll slap your brother around. But you won't let anybody else slap your brother around, right? And you'll circle the wagons for that character. So Claptrap, yes, he was meant to be irritating, yet slightly endearing. And if you want to know where I really stole it from, if you remember the Warner Brothers cartoon with Spike the dog and that little yippy dog, he's like, hey Spike, let's go kick the can, Spike, want to go kick the can? He's like, nah, you know, whatever. And he's like, yeah, Spike, nobody wants to go kick a can. Hey Spike, you want to go beat up my cat? Let's go beat up a cat. He's like, yeah, let's go beat up, you know, whatever. So that's Claptrap, along with Johnny Cab in Total Recall. It's like, you know, how did I get in here? The door opened and you got in, you know. And so that's the character. So yes, he's supposed to be irritating, but hopefully not too irritating. Should hate to love him and love to hate him.
I agree. Yes, you.
What was the idea behind Creed? Me and my friends have had that question floating around between us for a while. Neither of us have come up with an idea.
I love that you spend so much mind share on it. That's great. Thank you very much, by the way. You're a true fan. So, you know, I love that. I love that our game can affect people that way. That you and a friend were discussing the story behind Creed. Creed's just misunderstood. You know, he has you know, all these wonderful thoughts and so on, and yet he's a psycho bandit, and so you know, sometimes words just don't come out right. And here's what's funny is that you know, when you're playing that, people get the character from that webisode, or the introductory webisode that was done. That's where most people, that's where you see Krieg and how you know.
Right.
Because but anyway, I love the fact that we have such silly characters in this game, and if you pay attention, if you just play the main mission in Borderlands, it's very serious. Other than Claptrap, you know, it's pretty serious. But as you get further off the main path, it gets sillier and sillier and sillier. And so Borderlands can be as silly as you want it to be if you just hang out on the fringes of the game, right? You know, right. Or people can be real serious. And Krieg is one of those things where we just, you know, we have a lot of creative people at Gearbox, and there's no shortage of ideas and for characters and so on. And that was just one that everybody was like, yep, that should be the next one. Because it's a Psycho Bandit, and it's the version of, you know, playable Psycho Bandit. And of course, credit the writers, you know, which is Anthony and Mikey Newman that are able to create those kind of characters. Does that answer your question, by the way?
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Oh, right on. There you go. Well, sorry to disappoint you with my answer then.
It was kind of an experiment gone wrong, but I said he was just a psycho bandit.
That's it. He's just a psycho bandit. That's it. There you go. Just a misunderstood, socially awkward psycho bandit.
We got about 5 minutes left, guys. We're going to take a few more here. You, sir, in the middle.
What is your favorite weapon manufacturer from the first game that didn't make it into the second game?
Atlas.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't really play the first one, honestly.
That's because you weren't in it.
That's right. I don't play video games, I'm not in. So that's how that works. Except for Fallout.
Yeah.
Fallout.
And Madden.
And Madden. I'm not in Madden. Technically, I am in Madden.
Yeah.
Because there is a player on the Broncos with the last name Rager.
Yeah. Looks just like it.
Yeah. No, he's big defensive tackle. It's R-E-I-G-E-R. Anyway. So, now,
all right.
Who has not asked a question? You, sir.
You should replace Claptrap with the Gremlins.
What? With the Gremlins?
Yep.
Like from the movie The Gremlins? And how would that work?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either.
I see that you have Stripe there. Around.
Oh, you have?
I have Mohawk with me.
It's Mohawk.
Oh, that's Mohawk.
Oh, right on.
Don't get them wet. Let's beat them.
Man, you know what? Man, you know, if only we didn't create our own IP and we just went out and licensed other people's stuff. I guess maybe we could, you know, who was the director? Joe Dante? Is he around? Joe Dante? You'll find out.
Did he direct Gremlins?
He did. You
know people, you just know all kinds of shit, don't you?
Spielberg was.
Seriously, man, I've hung out with David Eddings many times, and he's quite amazing because he knows everybody. You go anywhere, David knows them.
It's pretty weird.
You know David Eddings. You just don't know it yet.
He's actually not exaggerating.
Yes, you say.
Was there ever a line that you said that you absolutely cringed at when you heard it again in the game?
No. The more cringeworthy, the better, I would say. And I never said a line and was like, damn, that's harsh. I'd be like, let's do that one again. The fun thing is in the beginning, Torgue cusses a lot, and apparently, he's got the voice box thing and it beeps for him. In the beginning, I would actually cuss. And when I came back again, they were like, look, man, we want you to actually now just say the word bleep instead of the cuss word because there's been some complaints. And I'm like, that's your own fault. Y'all bleep out that, no, I'm cussing. Y'all figure it out. I go, I'm cussing. And so I start, because what would happen is I would say a few times bleep, and I'm like, guys, this is stupid. I can't do it like this. I need to say the word. I'm not saying bleep, this is dumb. So eventually I got my way. But, yes.
How stressful was it to do all those voices for Claptrap's Robot Revolution?
It was not stressful really at all. It was fun to do. Basically it just kept me, I just get up from my desk and go to Overtrot, and it's kind of fun. I like the guys over there. Let's get out of the office a little bit. I talk a lot. If you get to know me, people know there's no shortage of words to spew from my mouth. So, to actually be able to somebody actually wants to listen and record that too. Oh my God! Yeah, I'll just go and do that.
We're going to document your speaking this time.
It was a lot of fun, and it's always a lot of fun. That's my contribution creatively to the process as a guy that pushes paper, that does the deals. Tales from the Borderlands is my thing. I named it. Came up with the concept, the idea to even do that, whatever, that kind of stuff. Doing the movie deals like with Lionsgate and Avi and Ari Rod, and that's what I do every day. Make the toys happen, the Funko Pop.
First of all, this man helped make Borderlands into a movie. Let's give him a round of applause for that. Right. That's pretty freaking cool, dude.
Yeah, it was my baby. I get to be in it now, which is amazing.
Right. Who else would be playing Claptrap?
Peter Levin over at Lionsgate told me, he's like, you're gonna play Claptrap in the movie, and I was like, look, if Kevin Spacey isn't available, and then sure, maybe.
Sure.
And he goes, no. He goes, you're absolutely doing it. And I'm like, look, if it works out, great. But that's not something I ever talked about when I did the deal, or when I was shepherding the deal. And so then he goes, no, I'm giving you 1,000% guarantee that you're playing Claptrap. And that's I had just hit record, so I got that on tape.
Right on.
But yeah,
they called you like, we're not.
This is not an
18 in the movie now.
18+ panel. But anyway, I love to say that I'm going to get to be in a movie. I've never had to audition, and I never had to suck a dick in Hollywood. No matter how many times I offered.
I think we're wrapping. I'm going to take one more question. This man here had his hand up a little bit longer. This better be good. This is the last one. How do you feel? Do you feel confident about it?
I'm old enough, I don't care.
All right, cool. Shit, yeah.
Actually, I want to talk about games now, so if you're doing a panel or something, or if not, maybe talk offline and somebody can get their actual voice acting questions going.
Okay,
right on.
Talk afterwards.
All right, we in the red here, yes.
Yeah, okay, I gotta ask this real quick. Be honest, how much do you love to air guitar? If the answer is a lot, give us a demonstration. If the answer is none, give us a demonstration.
It was a lot. I'll tell you, talking about improv, that was just all me. So like, thank you very much, guys. Y'all have a good night. Peace, love, happiness, word to your mothers.